There we go. First try, I think. Yeah. First try. First try. Okay. So we can go ahead and get started with the classes, or with the class. Let me just start recording. Okay. So just a reminder that they are summarized in the description of this class, but we are Erfan and I have talked, and we are making things a little bit more rigid, or maybe a lot more rigid. We're going to be doing a maximum of 5 submissions per class, assuming that we go to 10 minutes per submission. There is only going to be allowed 1 submission per person per week. That's including my sessions and his. So if you submit today, and you were hoping to get reviewed by Erfan, you will not be prioritized. If there's less than 5, if there's 5 or less people, we can do your second review, but we're going to prioritize people who have not been reviewed this week. That's just something to keep in mind. And we are capping it hard at 10 minutes per person. Maybe like an extra minute if we need to have a question answered. But the point is that we're trying to ensure that people get the most out of their time here when it's not their review. And basically, the better, more specific question you have, the more you'll get out of it. And it's kind of putting the onus on you to get the most out of that 10 minutes rather than us to make sure that we solve your problem in 10 minutes. Just wanted to draw that boundary. But we can go ahead and start. We got Gazu first, so let's invite you up. Gonna show, I guess for people in the class, hello? You guys can move over to the actual questions post, which is here, because his question is outside of the Dota game itself. So then I'm going to go here for everybody else. So we're here to talk about your hero pool. So your initial comment was that, or my initial comment was that you were missing a playmaking support. This is my last 3 months of support games. So let's check that out real quick. Okay.
Yeah, I can give some more background too on the question.
Sure, go ahead.
I mean, I would say I used to think that being able to play more heroes was a good thing. So you're telling me that's not really the case. So I've been trying to limit my hero pool. And sometimes I just like playing random heroes, but I'm trying to do that more in unranked. So if I was like trying to think about constructing a hero pool, like for the next 2 weeks or 2 months, like what other factors beyond the number of heroes are important? Like, should I try to have different types of heroes? I think that would be a good thing. I never really think about it that way, like playmakers versus other type. And sometimes I think that leads me to like straying from the plan. And sometimes I feel like the heroes I picked are not really great for that game, especially if like 3 or 4 of them are banned. So sometimes I can kind of get maybe in the wrong direction. So I'm just looking for feedback.
Yeah, so basically what I've realized in the recent past is that I think the average Dota player is never taught how to construct a hero pool. And so you ask questions like, should I have, like, what's the optimal route for constructing hero pools? One example that I was helping somebody else with over the weekend is that people tend to, some people tend to say, I have this problem that I'm trying to solve with this hero, and in reality, it's a problem that needs to be solved in the draft, where you realize, oh, none of my heroes, I've lost to DK 6 games in a row, and none of the heroes I play seem to do anything to DK, as giving an example. So what the most important part about any hero you play is that you are incredibly capable on that hero. That is like the absolute first and foremost thing that matters. And to do that, I think that the average player, based on how much they play, unless you're dumping in 40 hours a week. It's max 3 to 5 at any given moment. What I mean by that is that you can have 15 heroes in your pool, but, you know, given this week or whatever, you're playing 3 to 5 of them. And you'll stick to those 3 to 5 unless you start losing, basically. Like, it's no longer working. And the heroes that you're supposed to add to your pool are a result of, what am I losing to? Why do I think this isn't working? My teammates have no stuns. Losing to a specific hero. I'm losing my lane. We don't have enough late game scaling. I need a hero that clears creep waves. These are all examples. So, like, when I look at your support pool, none of these heroes are, like, flash farming supports that scale, like Snapfire, Jakiro, Warlock, Hoodwink. So that's an example of, you know, a facet of your game that you're missing. Now, I don't think it's important for me to tell you what facets you need in your hero pool. What's important is that you choose a hero pool of 3 to 5. You limit yourself very significantly. And then you take inventory, meaning, you know, after a set of games, 5 to 10 games, you ask yourself, what do I think about my hero pool? Is there something I'm seeming to struggle with? Is there a phase of the game I need to work on? Is there a problem that needs to be addressed in my hero pool? And that's how you know to add heroes. Like, for me, I was winning with Troll Jug Ursa because I was just spamming these heroes. I was winning, and then I started losing when the enemy carry was DK, Terrorblade, or Gyro. And I was like, why am I losing to these? These matchups aren't necessarily bad on paper. And I realized I was losing because the enemy carries were crushing their lane, and I was going, like, even in farming. So they were picking these heroes, and, like, my offlaner's game was horrible. So then I was like, okay, so I need to pick heroes that are more lane-centric. So then I started playing these and winning. That's an example of what I mean. Even though I have this entire hero pool here, you know, I play more than you guys, but generally speaking, there's not too much variance in the hero pool. Like, I have, like, cores. I have Gyro, DK Troll. Yeah, Gyro, DK Troll is, like, half of my games. I've also played Dota for 30,000 hours, so it's, like, a little bit different. But the idea is that, you know, I have a core group of heroes that I'm picking from, and the only other ones I'm willing to pick, I have to have, like, 200 games on plus. Like, I only pick Void randomly in a game because I had mid Invoker, and I was against offlane Marcy, and I like Void a lot. So I picked Void specifically in this game because he's really good in this game, and I've played him, you know, 425 times. So I don't mind picking Void. So for you guys, what I like about this approach that I'm trying to teach you here is you put 3 to 5 heroes in your pool, you really limit yourself, and say it's like a really good Kez patch, and you're winning, you're owning with Kez, but then they nerf him or whatever, Kez stops working. You feel comfortable at some point in the future to put Kez back in your 3 to 5, and maybe even then you can have 3 heroes and maybe randomly pick a Kez game because you know exactly what it looks like to have a good Kez game. But if you're playing support, that's less likely to happen because you're oftentimes first picking in the draft. So I think the most important thing is not the heroes you put there, but what I'm telling you now about how to build a hero pool and how I think about building my heroes. And basically being able to adjust over time and self-correct. I'm obviously here to help you guys, but you'd have to come back with, you know, specific, like, I started with these 3 to 5, and I found myself losing to this hero, or we were struggling in lanes, or every game went late and I lost. Like, you'd have to tell me, like, what's happening, basically, in your games. Does that make sense, or are there follow-up questions you'd like to ask?
I think that gives me enough to work on. I can bring another question another week. You know, that gives me something to start thinking about.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that you give yourself a solid 3 hero foundation. If you want it to be these, like, I would start with 3 for now. I think keeping it even more simple is good. Choose 3 out of these 5, and let me know what's going on in your games, good or bad. You know, come back and say, hey, BSJ, I picked 5 games of Pudge, 5 games of Witch Doctor, and 5 games of Kez. You know, and I felt like when my when I was playing 4 position, like my carries were picking a bunch of ranged heroes, and none of my guys go well with those. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that's the case for those 3 heroes. You know, then I can say, okay, like what was generally going wrong? We can pick a hero for you that solves this problem. That sort of deal. That's what I would need from you. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I can do that. Thanks.
Sweet, man. Awesome. I'm gonna boot you back. No, I'm purposely not showing Discord to you guys. I told you to go to this December 1st thing. You're able to see it yourself. Okay. Oh, I was not sharing my game. Sorry. Yeah, that's just bad production. In my head, yeah, that's my bad. I showed Void, and I showed that I've played him 425 times. And that, yeah, that's my bad. And I picked it because I had a mid-invoker, and it was a good Void game against Jug Marcy. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. Okay, my bad on that. On to the next one. We've got Edgelord. So we're looking at the laning stage for you, talking about you're trying to figure out when to leave the lane. Let's pull you up here. This is going to be back to Dota. Oh, I just realized that the viewers, I think, can't see it either. Jesus, I got to figure out a better way to do this. It's fine. Actually, no, they were seeing the question, but they weren't seeing the screen with Dota. Jesus. Sorry, viewers. Bear with me. Noob streamer here. Okay. I've never done it before. Yeah, I understand now. Okay, so you were Jug here. I invited you to speak up here, Edgelord. You want to join me? If not, I'll just look at the replay and... You're at work? Okay. Then I will just watch. So your question exactly was 4 to 8 minutes. You think you should have left. When should that have been? Usually we can know when we're going to leave when we look at the offlane matchup. So you're against Axe. Against Axe specifically, I would probably max spin over crit because I'm planning to jungle much earlier. I would also be more willing to walk up to the wave and spin it than walk up to the wave and hit it against Axe. So I would have planned to leave by going treads first. Probably not a full wand. Let's see, what were your starting items? Did you start with wand? Okay, so you started wand. That's fine. You want to go full wand in that case, that's fine. I probably would have, I myself would have gone stick, 3 branches, quelling a slipper. That's what I would have gone here. Because that gets me to my item a bit faster. What happened here that you just got screwed? So whenever you're against Axe, you shouldn't walk up to the creep wave until it's like half HP on one of the creeps. So you walked up too early, and you learned the lesson there. So you kind of got off to a really bad start because you took like half your HP and damage from Wind Ranger before the lane started, and then you had to spin off a Battle Hunger. Looks like things kind of recovered. You're dodging the power shots. We don't have a pull. That sucks. So I would have detected that this lane's going pretty poorly. Meaning like there's no pull. I don't really want to be here. This lane sucks. So I would have planned to jungle much earlier. I probably wouldn't have leveled crit at all here. I would have just gone 3-2-0 because I'm not hitting enemy heroes anyway. So I would have adapted to this lane in that way. I would never really go on the Axe without spinning. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, I feel like I would have probably left. I would have seen this exact scenario right here where we have no pull camp. Oh, we do have a pull camp, and you didn't pull it. Oh, wait, no, you couldn't make it because okay. Your teammate didn't pull it. So I would have pulled small camp here. I would have walked over and pulled it myself. If I had no small camp, I would have already left. I would have pulled small here. Instead, we're like fighting. Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah, I would have definitely been 2-2-0 right now with my skill build. And I think you would. I would have let. Okay, so you TP back to lane. I would never do that. I would either walk back to lane or not be there at all. Yeah, I think the major problem in your approach is that you're not utilizing the small camp, which is to avoid interaction. You're not maximizing spin, which is your jungle back to lane farm ability. And you took points in crit when you're not even hitting enemy heroes, so you'd just rather have a second point in healing ward in order to sustain more. So I don't think it's nearly as much about when you're supposed to leave lane as the fact of how much you want to interact with these guys, and you're interacting with them way more than you would want to on paper. That's my answer to this question. Do you have any questions about that, Edgelord? Thought crit was better for farming jungle. Yeah, I mean, just spam spin on medium camps and small camps, and compare that to hitting them with crit. Would be my answer for you. It's definitely not better for early jungling. But if that was driving your decision, then that would make a lot of sense. And you can just replace that with, if I want to jungle early on Jug, I max crit on Jug when I'm laning regularly and I'm hitting the offlaner regularly. Like, I'm like, I want to hit that guy a lot. And I can just walk up to the creep wave and hit it. If I can do that and hit the offlaner in the meantime, I max crit. Otherwise, which is not the norm. That's like, there's not often that's the case. That's when I would max crit. But there are lanes where that's the case, and that's when I would do it. And you don't have a support that slow stuns him, so you can't get kills with spin. Yeah, I mean, spin's just the better jungling ability, right? So that's what we're talking about. Okay. That's it for that one. I'm gonna go ahead and thumbs up that one and call it good. Well, next up, we got Andre. I mean, at the end of the day, am I walking at them with spin, or am I walking at them to hit them? Like, there's just very different reasons that I would walk at them, and that's the question I need to ask myself. So if I have a CM, I'm probably going max spin, because, yeah, I can kill the guy with my spin. But it's just like, when I plan to walk at them, what is my intent? And if my intent is to just hit them, then I don't need to max spin. If my intent is to spin on them, then, yeah, I would definitely max spin. Let's get you up here. Okay.
Hello.
Let's we're gonna look at your, if everyone would like to join me here again, copy link for the class, and then I'm gonna show them on stream classes. We've got your drafting questions. So
Yes, I had 2 games where I wasn't sure what to pick.
yeah. So would you like to comment any further than showing me the bans and the picks, or would you like me to give you the reasons for the answers I gave?
So I saw your answers, so let's go over the first game. I see that we have a similar idea. My idea was that I need an illusion hero for this game, so I went Arrowblade in the end. I also thought I need a BKB hero, so I didn't pick PL.
Yeah, PL's insanely good against all 4 of these heroes. Maybe not Jakiro. It's like fine against Jakiro, but it's like insanely good against these 3. For sure. Terrorblade's fine, but the problem with your lineup is it lacks catch, so I feel like it would be hard to fight under Metamorphosis reliably. Like, Viper's gonna like
It was, I
hurricane.
went early Blink on TB. I
Yeah.
went like Manta Scud BKB Blink or something.
I see. Did you end up winning?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
we had a bad early game, and then I was farming a lot, and we got.
Yeah, I would have picked PL just because he's the one that kind of runs at them himself, and it also pairs really well with Venge, just like TB. So,
maybe you can give me like a very short TLDR about what to pick with Warlock in general, because my historical go-to pick was Spectre, which now.
Gyrocopter
I mean,
is
sucks
insanely
against
OP.
Viper.
Gyrocopter is very good with Warlock. I said Alchemist because the main thing about Alch is I want my 5 to defend my tower. And Warlock's pretty good at doing that. And I thought of Alch as like their lineup's pretty greedy. Viper's gonna go farm. He's not gonna kill your tower. You know, a lot of them are just gonna go farm. And so you have this early window to get Radiance and run at them with your team, and you offer initiation. So for me, I needed a carry that runs at them. That's why I would not have picked TB with your 4 heroes. Like, on paper, it's pretty good with these 4 heroes, but it's not... Like, for me, the biggest problem with TB is I push meta and the opponent walks away. So I would see that happening in this game. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Anything else you'd like to talk about with this game?
No.
Okay. Okay, and for the second one,
And this.
what did you think about this
Here
one?
I picked Monkey King.
Okay.
I mean, this game was. We lost the lane, and then I never got to finish my items. So this game went very bad. I think my pick was bad. I think I should have gone Nari BKB, which I didn't.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think I
mean,
went Radiance into Manta or something.
yeah, for me, I think the most important thing about your hero is that it does a lot of single target damage. That was like what I thought about with your hero, because you guys have so many disables. But not like OD alone is not enough. So I would have wanted to be a guy that does single target damage. I think by far the best pick is DK. You don't really care about Axe. Meaning like he'll go on you and you're just tankier than he is. And you're also a frontliner that you provide for your team, and you also do a lot of single targets. So I would have probably defaulted to poison or corrosive DK here. But depending on their pick, you know, if they picked sniper, yeah, I would have stuck with corrosive DK. I just put Marcy in there because it's another single target damage hero that's also strong in the meta, but I don't like love Marcy against Axe. But I just think those 2 heroes would have been done by far the best in lane, because they're self-sufficient and sustaining. For me, Monkey King is much better to pick if I have like a Jakiro or like a CM5. I wouldn't pick it with Lion most of the time.
Okay. I was thinking that Monk is usually a good hero against Ox, because I get Jingles when he calls me.
Yeah, and I think you need a strong laning 5 to actually win that matchup, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think you can definitely fight him, but your 5 would need to be a stronger hero. Like if I have Lion 5, I'm not picking to win the lane. I'm picking to draw the lane and farm, because Lion's an incredibly greedy support who doesn't win lanes. So that's how I view that hero.
Okay. That's the hero I don't play as support, so I don't really understand it.
Yeah. For me, it's a lot about just knowing, like, having a good arbitrary idea of how strong heroes are in lane will help you know to play for the lane or not. And certain carries are very lane dependent. Like, Monkey King's incredibly lane dependent. Like, he needs to win his lane to be, like, fully effective. While a hero like DK is going to kind of, like, draw most lanes and usually pull out a little bit ahead just because he's broken right now. But the idea is, like, I consider DK like a very stable carry as opposed to Monkey King, who's very volatile. He either crushes his lane or gets crushed, in my experience.
Would you consider Lifestealer in a meta where Lifestealer is a good pick?
I wouldn't love Lifestealer here just because they do have a lot of single target with Wind Ranger, Vengeful Spirits. I wouldn't love it, and he's not really damage here. I wouldn't love it, no. I wouldn't hate it, but I wouldn't love it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I need to get DK up my pick list, because
I mean, the hero's like super
it's not a
busted.
hero it's a hero I know to play because he's kind of easy, but it's not a hero I usually consider. I think I'm gonna do it right now. Just move him up.
Nice. Yeah, super OP hero. For sure. Got any other questions?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Sweet. Gonna boot you. Okay. Going back to Dota here. Okay. Next up, we got Alex. Boom. We got a 5.3k jug. Do you have a specific... Is Alex here? I don't see Alex, so never mind. Okay. We've got Snail. Oh, no, Mr. Porden. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip you there. Mr. Porden, I did see here. Where you at? There you are. Hello, Mr. Porden. How's it going?
Yeah, good.
Let me turn you up a little bit. There we go. Sweet, man. 2.8k Troll Warlord. You're looking at 24-ish minutes into the game. It felt hard because the opponent was pushing a bunch of towers, and you want to know how to approach these kind of games. Would you like to elaborate at all, or is that good?
So I'm just looking back at it now, just to get a better idea of exactly what was happening, and it felt like we were kind of just not playing and not reacting to things, and so if we're not gonna play active, should I just be like cutting waves and staying off map as much as possible, or should I be, you know, how should I take, if it feels like we're being run at, but we're not doing about the fact, anything about the fact that we're being run at, do I just keep focusing on my own game at that point, or do I still try and, because it's a lot easier to give up a tier 1 than it is a tier 3, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, generally speaking, Troll's like a really hard carry. Like, he doesn't want to fight for the first really 20 to 25 minutes unless there's like a huge timing he hits or his teammates are getting gone underneath the tower and he can like turn and ult people. He never really wants to be in the fight head on, in my experience. Just wants to hit creeps. So that gets even worse if we're losing. I like that you went BKB here, because for me it's like I would be using the BKB in order to farm, because they have no BKB TP cancels. You know, my question I'd be asking myself in this game is who's the catalyst for killing me on their team? It's a pretty tough game for you because you're against a really bad carry matchup Slark, and you're also in a game where you're losing the map and you're against Slark, so it's like really hard to split push. So let me know if you have any thoughts or comments about what I just said.
So you think it was specifically difficult to split push because of Slark, or because of just the game state in general and Troll?
I think Slark makes it really difficult to split push if you're losing to him in general. If Slark's team has map control, that just hero's really hard to split push against.
Because I think it was Slark actually built Shadowblade this game.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think it was, here's actually the first example where I felt like I just couldn't clear camps because Slark is in this.
Yeah.
But you think that's like a Slark specific problem, and that's why. Because I think it happens again in like 3 or 4 minutes where I get picked by the Slark, because just Shadowblade Slark, I guess. And I have to BKB TP out. And you think that's like Slark specific problem?
Yeah, your goal at like minute 15 should be, I'm playing cat and mouse with Slark and kind of Ember, but more so Slark. And that's why I don't mind the BKB, because I'm playing cat and mouse, and when they catch me, I BKB TP. What I don't like is that you're BKB TPing when you're in front of your lane, like you're over here, you're like up here. I would have been trying to be more elusive on the map. I would virtually never show in lanes, probably never, to be honest, because a good Slark player would just walk at you. Whenever you're playing cat and mouse Dota, information's the most important thing. Make it as difficult to catch you as possible so they don't know where you are. What's even more difficult about Slark is that he has full night vision. So even at nighttime, it's difficult to play around Slark on the map, as opposed to a lot of other heroes that, you know, you can at least kind of juke them a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I think the major thing is that I would want you to be playing the map really creatively. You'd have to try really non-standard farming patterns. I would not be showing hardly at all. I mean, this is an example that's kind of fine since you know Pugna's by himself, but the problem is you're against Underlord, so they TP in like this. At the end of the day, I don't even think that's that bad, though. You know, for me, it's like I'm probably going through gate and farming up here, but like, if you want to go for a play when the game's this ugly looking, I'm also fine with that, because getting 2 kills is not all that bad. You know, I like the Manta afterwards because it solves the Ember problem on the map, so it makes it so Slark's the only one that causes a problem. You know, for me, in this case, when you respawn, I am gonna see this, and I am going to walk out of base to this, and maybe I'll show up in 15 seconds. Like, maybe. I kind of made the same mistakes on Troll, like, in my game I played yesterday. I kept going to fights that were not in my team's favor, and this hero needs, like, 3 or 4 items before he's strong.
Yeah.
So, combination
But
of Slark,
that
combination of Troll, I'd say, is what's happening here.
Yeah. That it actually basically the exact same fight happened when I respawned and I had BKB and it went a lot better. So that makes it was just I think like I should have just waited until BKB. So that was
Yeah, that was nice. Do you see Slark plus Underlord? You're gonna get out on the map. Yeah, you just can't do this against Slark. You're feeding him really hard here. Yeah, I think if you literally showed on the map 0 times between 20 and 35 minutes, you would have had better results. Because you have to do your best to identify that it's a cat and mouse game, and you have to identify the power of the cat in this case, and that's Slark. He's like one of the best cats in the entire game. Amazing hero for chasing people around. He will find you. He has full night vision. He has bonus move speed when he's off map, so he's like running around really fast, and he will find you. The hero also doesn't really like farming, so he's going to spend most of his time hunting you anyway. So I think you made it a bit easy for him by continuously trying to make plays on his team. The fact that they have Global Silence plus Global Underlord, it's like there's no such thing as like getting a free kill and walking away. So at the end of the day, yeah, I think going for like 4 or 5 items would be the play. And maybe taking a fight at base like you did, like the one here. That would be the play that I would go for.
so just be focused on in hard games who is the hero that is actually making it hard for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great takeaway from this, yeah. And what you can do after that is when you think about what hero is making it hard for you, you'll start being able to categorize heroes for, you know, what do they do when the game is hard? It's like, if I'm losing to something like a Storm, I literally can't play alone. If I'm losing to something like a Terrorblade, he's just going to, like, walk at buildings and hit them. You know what I mean? And so I kind of have to avoid him until he goes for my high ground, and we have to, like, take a fight right then and there because he kills buildings really fast. Just an example. Every hero has, like, a bit of a different threat of what they do. So, Dawnbreaker, I can't really go for single-target pickoffs, and we have to be non-committal with our team fights. Just whatever hero we're losing to. So I think that's a great takeaway for you.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, man. I'll go ahead and boot you here. Troll's the mouse in this case because he's losing by 8k, and he can't really fight with the items he has. So he's a mouse because he's trying to avoid fighting because he needs more items. Generally speaking, what characterizes like the person getting chased in this case is the person that needs to farm. Is what that means. Ursa and Troll are very similar heroes in terms of the way they function. Like, they're man-up heroes that get right up in your face. The big difference is Troll can, like, kill heroes with Battle Fury plus Blink, and Troll needs a lot more than that. Yeah, just different timings. Similar archetype of heroes. Okay, we got Snail. Let's just see if there's any other questions in class real quick. Yeah, I made the mistake of taking a fight yesterday when I was playing Troll. And I was like 300 gold away from Satanic, thinking like, we need to take this Roche fight. So I had this, this was like my net worth before the Roche fight. Where did I die here? It's right here. I had this and I was like 900 gold towards my last, like I had 400 gold I needed for Satanic, and we took a fight. This is 29 minutes in. We lose the game at 36, and I never finished the Satanic. Like, it feels so bad to be in this situation where you're like literally 400 gold, and then 7 minutes later you have gotten 0 gold. Like, that death literally like lost the game. Obviously, we were in a rough spot leading up to that, but if I had just waited for my Satanic and gave them Aegis, we could have won this game. But same thing. Same thing. Okay. We got so it's a very common mistake to make on Troll. I mean, I've literally played 400 games of Troll and I still do it, so wasn't at my best yesterday for sure. Why Mjolnir? Because we needed to fight them with one item, basically. And Mjolnir's way better for that than Battle Fury. The game was horrific. That was why Mjolnir. Okay. I'm gonna invite Snail up here. I think I was already in your game, actually. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Greetings.
Hey, this is Roy and Snail, so two people in this class right now.
Okay, so we're looking at an offlane duo?
So we had a class from Irfan last week where he kind of showed us the correct way to play the first cutting waves when we play like a weak lane like this.
Yeah?
Something we learned right at the start of this game was we didn't know whether or not we should be blocking the creeps in the first wave. So we actually do kind of semi-block the first wave, and then it goes under tower, and we just kind of had a discussion after the game. We weren't sure whether or not we should be blocking that first wave.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
like right
mean,
here.
I would definitely block it because, okay, the thing is, when you block it, you don't need to do all this. You don't need to do this creep drag because you're against a really weak laning carry, Void, and you're letting an AA just pelt you. So I would have blocked the first wave, and then I would have laned with it right here, with your job to be over here blocking this small camp. So if you guys block it like you did, the lane's gonna be like right here. And then you block small, and the lane's just over.
Cool. Okay.
That's how I would have played this.
Yeah, sounds good.
Was there more to your question, or is that it?
No, I think that's it. The only reason we were thinking of not block, well, we were kind of intentionally practicing this, so maybe like regardless of the lane that we were up against, I think we wanted to do this. The only reason was Irfan said the offlaner should be at the steps to pick up the first creep waves so that the 4 could go back up and
here?
start going for the no, sorry, at the Radiant T1, the secret shop steps.
Oh, right here.
So like essentially you deliver the creeps there and the 4 goes back up to like connect to the next creep wave.
Yeah.
So I think the issue was if we blocked the first wave, then the offlaner would be, I guess, trying to hold the creeps at the tower or like pulling them back into tower, so he wouldn't be there to get them.
I'm sorry. I understand. Okay, so just start out. You said he said to be here waiting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and
he said to be there waiting.
Yeah, say it again.
If we block the first wave, then the offlaner, the Slardar here, needs to kind of be handling the creeps that come from the tower, right?
Yeah,
'Cause that
he
wave's
needs
gonna
to be
push
over
as
here.
well.
Yeah.
So he can't be there to do the creep handoff. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe it's just like the Slardar just has to kind of like handle that both waves of those creeps at the same time.
For me, I mean, my major feedback for this is because I don't know exactly what Airfon's telling you, but I know Airfon's more of a support player. I know he does coach other roles as well, but I'm the Slardar player here. So what I want is Slardar in this lane is the lane to sit right here, and I'm just gonna farm here. I want solo XP. That's how I want this lane played. So whatever gets the lane right here, none of this bullshit chaos stuff. I would want the bullshit chaos stuff if it's a really strong laning carry.
Sure.
If it's a Faceless Void, Spectre, all that kind of shit, I want the lane just sitting right here.
Okay.
And I would be fine if we never pulled a single camp, if we never let them pull a single camp, and the lane just sat right here. I would be super happy with that on Slardar.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Yeah, I think we're like gonna try this anyways because it's something we're practicing.
Yeah.
Regardless of the lane, but I do understand what you're saying. Like, we don't need to go through all this if we have an easier.
It's
lane.
good to practice, absolutely. You're going to learn the ins and outs. I guess it's also good in this case, like I said, that things like this, you're choosing this over the lane sitting right here.
Mhm.
And in some matchups, that's bad to sit the lane right here. In other matchups, it's good. A lot of times, if the carry can't really reliably get CS when it's up here, like, what is Void going to do? You know, all he can do is right-click. You know, he can't really reliably get CS. So, an AA can't really help him all that much. So, but if it's like Warlock Gyrocopter, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, the Gyrocopter is just going to flak you and you're both going to take a bunch of damage if you try to static the wave right here. I wouldn't want to do that. I would want to do all this stupid shenanigans stuff on the side.
Yep, makes sense.
So yeah, it's just good to also learn the execution, which you guys are getting the hang of, but also the purpose. So, any questions other than that about the lighting stage? I see a timestamp for a team fight later.
Yeah, let's go to that team fight.
Okay. Let's check it out.
I think it starts. Yeah, so
Okay.
it starts. We killed Tide, I guess, 25-30 or something.
Yeah.
We're ahead. We're like 10k up, so the game is like pretty good right now. We get the Tide. He doesn't get Ravage off. So like, I guess pause here for a sec.
Okay.
So like right now we're thinking, in my mind, it's like, okay, this like we win this team fight no matter what, right? Like
Yeah.
their main Tide Hunter's dead. We know we have them in their corner. Like we saw 2 of their heroes. So like just run at them. Like we're gonna win kind of no matter what. And then we really don't. So I guess like I'm curious on your thoughts on this fight.
I mean, my thoughts are you're against Void Snapfire AA. They could wipe you at any time. Doesn't matter net worth.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah. I
hero
guess
count.
watch the next 10 seconds. Yeah.
I mean,
And you'll see, I
obviously
think,
I
why.
know all 5 of you die, but it's like the point is that I think AA is the most archetypal hero of this description. He can kill you no matter what the net worth differential is. This hero can kill you.
Okay.
There's no such
What
thing as
would you
being
be thinking
unkillable
here?
against AA. What I'd be thinking here is that I have 2 hypermobile melee fast guys and a Blink Hurricane Pike TA. There should not be a universe where you guys are all chronorable. Like,
Okay.
Slardar would walk up this way, TA would walk, like, even
Yeah,
just
that sounds
sitting
good.
here, and you would maybe sit behind SF or something. But it's just positioning. Like, you guys are actually super, like, jump all over the place kind of heroes. So you
Mhm.
should never be clumped, really, if you think about the way your heroes function. So
Yeah.
we will give people the highlight for their sake, you know. But like in this case, if you're gonna walk here, then it's like I don't mind if you and Slardar both walk to this high ground. But I would even like plant a sentry just in case. I don't know if they see you or something. But yeah, so the idea being that you guys like, wait, what happens here? How do you actually get wiped? The chrono's not even good.
Yeah. Chrono's bad. So now
Okay.
I'm even more like, we're gonna win this fight.
Yeah. Wait, so how did TA die? I see. Okay. Yeah, this is just poor fight target selection, I think. So Snapfire lived somehow. Yeah, I mean, you 100% Slardar and Void, or Slardar and Earth Spirit should be jumping the supports. They're the only source of damage on this team. Yeah, I mean, whenever you're winning, it's like, how do they kill us? And if I look at this lineup, it's 100% AA Snapfire. So, I think it's just really bad target selection by you guys, to be honest.
Okay. So like going into this, we should be thinking like find the A and Snapfire kind of like no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, these are generally supports you do have to find unless you have BKBs against Snapfire specifically, and AA is just one of the most like punishing backline supports in the game, I would say. All
right.
So I would be thinking that Void is useless without these two rather than the other way around. Like even if we jump and kill Snapfire and then Void chronos us, like who cares?
Yep.
But on the other hand, even though we jumped Void and he wasted Chrono, we then died to Snap. I think that even makes it... I would not have predicted that's how this goes down, but like I could tell you that this is definitely a target selection issue.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess going into this, we need to be like hyper aware that like all of their damage is from their Snap and AA. So like going into this fight as Slardar, yes, we need to be thinking like still like target priority. This has to be like Snap or AA first, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will say that this whole idea of we can win any fight, that should never enter your mind, ever. How do we win this fight? Who do we target? That's just like an ego-driven decision, I think. That should never occur, in my opinion. It never serves you to think that way. The analytical, who's the best target, what's their way to win, should just be the question we ask ourselves every game. Like, I get the idea of, like, we're vibing, let's go get them, but it's definitely how you end up in these scenarios. It's how you lose the 20% of games where you're 80-20 to win. Or in this case, even if you don't lose, it's like how you lose the one fight. So, yeah, I think this is a stark reminder that sometimes life gives you that when you get comfortable, sometimes things go pretty bad. For me, that's actually the most alarming thing out of this entire thing. Like, if I could give you one takeaway from our 10 minutes discussed here, it'd be, please don't do that anymore. And when you do it, just be aware, okay, what do I actually want to ask myself? Like, I would have a thought exercise where it's like, every time that I think that way, what would be a better question that I should replace that with? So that when I do that, I catch myself, and then I replace it with, like, questions like, who's our target? How do they win fights? What's the series of spells that they cast? Who do we want to each go on? Who's going first? Stuff like this. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, that makes sense. Yep, I like that. So
Sweet.
like even after we get this kill, it should still be what's our main target.
Yeah. For me, a kill is, okay, maybe we would have planned not to jump Tide, but since we killed Tide, like, now what? Like, how does this change the answer to those questions? You just reset the same questions. That's how I would look at that kill. Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you.
We all do this, though. So, I'll say that. Like... Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say, it's like, I think in my brain, it's like they see Tide dying, so they should be like running. So it's like, we're just trying to connect with someone to like chain the Tide kill to something useful. But they actually decide like, hey, we can actually fight here and turn and wipe us. So like when we go in on the NP, I think it's just 'cause like that's the first hero we see. So I think maybe we just like what you said at the start, like knowing that their damage is coming from those two heroes means they might still fight us, even though all of that goes so badly for them at the start. So
I think it's interesting because it's good to chase, thinking like we do need to catch them, look for more. But I would always assume they're going to fight me, because if they don't fight us, it's like I need to chase them knowing that they're going to try to fight us. Because if they don't try to fight us, then what do we care? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's one option where if they don't try to fight us, then it's over. If they try to fight us, then we need to be prepared for it. But we do want to chase them under the pretense that they might fight us. Yeah.
Right. Like it's not, if you're not using your brain because you're just like, we can just chase them, then you might as well be using your brain to be thinking like who's the best person to be attacking here.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have the awareness to be like, yeah, we should pursue more. We have fucking Earth Spirit Slardar, like, catch them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think, yeah, that's it for me. Any final questions?
Cool. Nope, that's it. Thanks, man.
Cool, man. Okay. Do we go on a snap AA from the get-go with the threat of Chrono and Ravage? Hypothetically, if all of them were alive, I think you can't fight into that lineup for some reason. I mean, the point about that lineup is that you have a TA, kills creep waves like really fast. Same with SF. Your map mobility is far better than theirs. Their only map mobility is Nature's Prophet. But like they don't have like a mobile guy to set up the Nature's Prophet, right? So when you think about like playing the map, there should never really be like an honest fight here between the two teams, and the fight should always be in favor of the team of Radiant, especially when they're winning. So like stuff like that tide pick off should theoretically always happen because the opponent can't just sit as 5 and win the game. And eventually you would beat them in a 5v5 if you just have like a 30k net worth lead. If the fight is taken appropriately. The idea for me here is that I still think that until it's hyper late game, if they kill Snap AA, like the other 3 will not kill them. So that's just kind of my thoughts there. But I agree with your like intuition that it's really hard to fight into that lineup. So, cool problem to have. We've got about 10 minutes left in the class. With no other submissions. So I'm happy to answer other questions that you guys may have, do a little theory crafting. We can follow it up at anything that we've already done. If somebody has a specific question about just Dota in general, we can talk about it. How do you think about Brew or Grim as flash farmers? I wouldn't say either of those as flash farmers. Grim doesn't one-shot creep waves, and Brew needs a Radiance in order to farm fast. For me, flash farming offlaners, for instance, would be like Axe or Centaur. Like, I think you would probably gain 1,000 MMR if you learned how to play Axe Centaur with the Helm of the Dominator and just had the creep pull waves to you. Like, that's what I did in this Centaur game. It's like super OP right now. That's like the type of hero that's a flash farmer. Like, you just get so fucking big. You just buy Helm Dom and drag creeps to you. Like, so much farm. When adding a new hero, do you spam first phase it? I think having a realistic idea of where the hero gets picked in the draft is good. A good rule of thumb. I'm just gonna pull this up. I'll share screen with you guys. And I need to figure out how to share screen properly with my Twitch chat as well. Probably this. So a good rule of thumb, if you're thinking about where a hero should be picked in the draft, is look at its matchups on Dota buff. So if we look at CM, for example. When you look at her best and worst matchups in the game, actually, this is a horrible example, because apparently, like, her worst matchup in the game is 3%. So, like, worst versus, 3%. Which is, like, medium disadvantage, but 3% is not all that bad. But if we pick Phantom Lancer, worst versus Sand King, 7%, 6%, 6%, 6%. Like, this is a good example of a hero you should pick later on in the draft. But, like, if we look at, like, Jug, you see 2.8%. He has, like, not so favorable matchups, and his disadvantages, he only has one hero in the game that's bad. So, like, you could ban Morph and, like, first pick Jug. You know what I mean? So these things can help you get a good idea of, like, where to pick your hero in the draft. For carries, I usually say to pick 3rd, 4th. For supports, you should be picking 1st for sure. Just because, like, that's kind of the standard anyways. But yeah. Yeah, so you talk about what this hero does well, or what does this hero hate? Specifically with the what does this hero hate, could you make a list, or is it more feel? I mean, give me an example. Give me an example of a hero you would like that answer to that question to. Snapfire. Snapfire generally hates heroes that get right up in her face. Especially in the current meta because of her Q being, like, better at long range. So Snapfire really hates, like, Storm Spirits and shit. She hates, like, mobile guys that she can't hit her spells with, and she hates guys that get up in her face. So, like, I'm pretty sure if I pulled up Snapfire in terms of matchups, I know you guys can't see my screen. I'm just going to look at it real quick. I'm pretty sure if I pulled up Snapfire, a lot of her bad matchups It doesn't always play this way in terms of numbers, but I'm pretty sure a lot of her bad matchups will be like really mobile guys. Worst versus Batrider, Weaver, Faceless Void. Yeah, so it actually looks like backline assassins. Apparently Bloodseeker is her worst matchup. I don't know how that works. Yeah, I don't read chat during Twitch or during my classes. Should I lose start at 30 starting gold for a later pick in the draft? I mean, if you're having this problem, I would probably say to your team, hey guys, I would like to pick third, fourth. Like, I would just have a message that I say to my team at the start of every game. I have a question as a sport player. Say you are owning the game early and you have a bad carry matchup or your course cannot close the game. Is that a part of the 80% or the 20%? I have a question. Say you are owning the game early and you have a bad carry matchup. I mean, generally speaking, having a bad carry matchup should just change the way you itemize to try to help the matchup or to try to carry yourself. Like, sometimes the best way to help your carry is to be more of a damage threat. Sometimes the best way to help them is to be like a blink sheep. You know, I would ask yourself what makes the carry matchup bad, and I would build things to sway that, especially when I'm having a good start. I've been theorizing Vino position 1, similar to Drow. The build I've been thinking Orb of Corrosion treads. The problem I have with Vino 1 is that you don't buy Butterfly Satanic. And I feel like right now, like, the best carries in the game can buy Butterfly Satanic. Or, like, Desolate or Daedalus. I feel like these are, like, it's like DK is just broken on paper, I feel like. And then everybody else buys, like, Butterfly Satanic. I think the exception is Ursa, because he can kill you through Butterfly Satanic. But, like, I feel like if I'm Vino, like, I played a game at Gyro against Vino, for instance, and it was like a Vino carry, and he was, like, owning, and then he just died later. That's my problem with Vino, I feel like. I feel like Vino would be nice if I have, like, a sniper mid or something. Or, like, a TA mid, or SF mid, maybe, that goes right-click. Something like this. Like, I feel like you can't be the only carry. What Vino does really well is that if he wins his lane, that he'll defend his tower till the end of eternity. And he'd be able to farm Ancients pretty well early game. I also think Mage Slayer on carry Vino is really nice because you need some sort of regen. The hero has no built-in sustain. And I don't like upgrading to Orb of Corrosion because the two components give you 2 debuffs and the whole thing gives you 1 debuff. Yeah, OD mid could work. The problem with OD mid is it's countered by BKB, and so are you. So I don't love it as much with OD. I'm asking a way of reverse engineering how many ways you categorize heroes and their weaknesses. Like, I heard you say Void hates Zoo. I heard you reference a scale of how often a mid hero needs to go base and reset. Slark likes to run at people. Some carries like AM like to split push and farm. Yeah, I mean, for me, a lot of this is feel. Like, for example, with, you know, having, like, I can give you answers and, like, you know, explain things. And a lot of it's, like, developing an understanding of core functions of Dota 2. Like, question for chat, question for the class. Why does Void hate Zoo? What is Void's worst feeling in the game? Zoo pressures Void out of the map. No AoE. Losing towers and shit. The worst feeling on Void is when I feel like I have to go fight them and chrono them. I have to. That's the worst feeling on Void. If you get to select when you use Chronosphere, like, hey, let's go fight them now, Void is like the most broken hero in Dota. So what does Void hate is when the opponent dictates when he has to use Chronosphere. What type of lineups dictate when you have to use Chronosphere? Lineups that push early, right? And on top of that, he has absolutely no way to deal with summons. So what you can infer from that is any hero with a long cooldown and no AoE hates summons heroes, right? Like, even though Warlock has some AoE, he generally hates summons heroes too. But at least he can defend towers. Yeah, I mean, you guys all gave answers, but I think the number one reason is because Void wants to fight on his own terms. I mean, every hero in Dota to some extent wants to fight on their own terms. But can anybody name... There's one hero in my mind. A hero that operates on a long cooldown and has no wave clear. This is also a hero that is absolutely hard countered by summons. Can anybody think of this hero? I'm going to show you my hero grid real quick. So you guys can see the heroes. Spectre's a great example, but it's not the one I'm thinking. She's probably like 3rd or 4th. I'm looking. These heroes you guys are mentioning are all countered by summons. You mentioned Terrorblade. Not Terrorblade's not actually countered by summons. Silencer, AA, OD, Enigma to some extent, yes. These are all solid answers, but they're not the one I'm looking for. I will give you a golden star if you can get the hero I'm thinking of, guys. Long cooldown, absolutely dog shit against summons. Usually an offlane hero. Think about a hero when they don't have their ultimate. They are literally the most useless piece of shit in the entire game of Dota 2. Thank you, Night Stalker. Yeah, Night Stalker. Night Stalker absolutely hates summons heroes. Like, quick lesson here, guys. Dota buff, Night Stalker. Night Stalker absolutely hates summons and illusion heroes. Where is it here? Like, illusion. Okay, a guy that makes it so he can't run. Let me show chat, Twitch chat as well. So it's like illusion, summon, guy that makes you can't run, summon. Multiple units, but like summon. Like all of the summons heroes are up here. All of them. Summon. Right? Summon. Like literally like 12 of the top 20 heroes are summon heroes. Right? So yeah, it's just an example. The big thing about Night Stalker and Void is they're ultimate-based heroes with really long cooldowns, and they can't fight. They're very useless in fights outside of these ults. Like, the thing about DK is he's not great without his ult, but he's more bad. He's less bad than Night Stalker and Void. Right? He's less bad. So, DK is a good example, but it's like not the best example. Making sure I have the right thing in my Twitch chat yet. But yeah, we have hit about the hour mark. So any final questions to wrap it up? I'm fine to go about 5 minutes over. How much do you think ultra wide monitors can help? I have no expertise. I mean, at the end of the day, if it gives you more vision, then it's technically OP. So if that's what it's doing, then, you know, it's definitely an advantage. As long as you're not trying to be a professional player, it's fine, because they won't give you those at tournaments. I have an ultra-wide monitor, and I don't think it helps at all. Yeah, I have never used an ultra-wide monitor, so I wouldn't really know. Yeah, tournaments have a standardized 24-inch monitor size. How to think about Midas or farming item on supports in general? Midas for me on supports is there's no item that gives me immediately more impact than I already have right now. So a good example of a Midas hero is Silencer, because he really likes like Ags and Refresher and stuff. And if you don't need like 4-staff Glimmer Cape, because you can't be with your team anyways, then that's like a good example. The problem with most supports is that they will be infinitely more survivable if they buy one Glimmer Cape 4-staff type item. So going Midas is like kind of griefing in the sense that you go from being like really hard to kill to like feeding if they ever catch you because you have a Midas, you know. Any tips for learning how to micro? I mean, I think the most basic tip for learning how to micro is to just do it. But I think you need to have control groups set up. And you need to have your control groups set up here. Where are they? Yeah, you need these. You need select all other units. Select hero, select all units, select all other units. Or where's select all? Yes, here you need these set up. And then for me, it's really good to practice Terrorblade, right? In lane, you can just do this. Wait, am I in a game yet? So it's like with Terrorblade. Terrorblade's a great hero to practice with, for instance. You know, knowing that summons you tab through them, it goes to the one you most recently summoned. So Terrorblade's a good example of this because you have illusions like this. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Whoops. So like I summoned this one first and this one second, so I know that when I push tab, it's gonna select this one, and then this one, and then like box selecting units that are on your screen is like a good thing to practice. So I think getting the hang of box selecting is really nice. So like, you know, I get used to like microing my summons outside of my hero, and then I group them together. So knowing that you kind of got to get used to doing certain commands that are for your hero, and certain commands that are for your summons only, and certain commands that are for both. And I think getting the hang of like this compartmentalization is really good. So you can just practice like sending your illusions away. Practice like then grouping them all together again. In the meantime, you're like trying to CS, so it's like a minor stimulant in the background. I'm not the best microer, but obviously I'm like probably better at microing than most people that play, so. Would you go Dominator in this meta instead of Midas on Silencer? He doesn't care about the mana nerf. I think it'd kind of depend on the game. If we have like wave clearing issues, then I'd go Helm Dom probably. But okay, guys. That's it for today's class. We're going to wrap it up there. Thanks for joining me. Keep in mind that if you did get your replay done today, that you will be deprioritized for Airfon's replays on Friday. But if there's not enough people, then you'll still get to go. Just want to keep that in mind for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll let you guys go. Check out the YouTube video I released today on CSing. I'd be curious. It's a lot of people I've coached from this that got in there, so it's technically from Snail Roy, so you're good to go. But yeah, thanks guys. Any final questions? I guess I'm willing to go a bit over because we have a coaching session in 20 minutes, and I have nowhere else to go. Do I have to change my way of WSAD late game? I sometimes am low on easy buttons to press. I mean, the main limitation of WASD camera movement is that you have 4 less hotkeys. Technically 8, because you can alt hotkey things too. So, you know, my only reason I think people should stop using WASD is if you feel like you don't have enough hotkeys. So, if that's the case, then I would definitely do that. Am I using Alt W ASD for anything? Alt W is for auto attacking or toggling spells. So I leave that one on. I don't toggle. I don't have QWER Alt auto selected or hotkeyd because those things can be used for toggling things. I use Alt A for move command. I feel like I use Alt S for something. Oh, sorry. Alt S is move command and Alt A is directional move. And Alt D is shop. I don't alt cast anything. Yeah, you should absolutely alt cast things. I personally use an alt modifier. I don't like using the alt key. So I use alt modifier of F. So everything that says alt is F3, FC, FX, FA, FS, F these D's nuts. So I personally don't like using the alt key. I don't like using my thumb for that. It feels really awkward to me. But that's just a personal preference. Do you have anything on the alt button itself? No, the alt button effectively got replaced by F. Yeah. I mean, the whole... I'm like, there has to be other people out there. I just can't use the alt key. Like, for me, it just doesn't work. Well, yeah, but that means you can bind something as F, and it will trigger when you press alt. I don't think that's how it works, is it? Maybe it is. If I bind something as F, I can look into that right now. So let's say that select hero is F. What happens when I click F? Okay, so what about alt? Yeah, that doesn't work. Cute, but that doesn't work. The amount of setting hotkey variation Dota allows is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up the class there. I'll bid you guys adieu. If you guys want to ask some more questions, I'm going to be hanging out with Twitch chat for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes before my coaching session, so feel free to join in there. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm just going to send that recording off. Recordings. What's today? Today is December 1st. Holy shit, it's the beginning of September. December 1st class. December 1st. Wow. Okay. ESJ, I'm currently bleeding MMR. In my games, I'm always the top net worth, highest hero, lowest deaths. It's kind of frustrating. I get bad teammates. How do I deal with this? Really tough to answer those type of questions because I understand it's what it's like to get bad teammates, but I don't really know what you're doing right or wrong. Because stats like that can be kind of misleading. The BSJ reading Discord comments or YouTube comments? I was reading a YouTube comment just now, but I'm looking at Twitch right now. Let's see. I could make my camera larger. We've got a coaching session in about 10 to 15 minutes. We might start early if the person wants to start early. I don't think they accepted my friend request yet. Did they? Oh, they did. I am ready to start when you are. How do you itemize as Ursa against DK Morph? You would probably need an MKB because you're against Morph. So it's like Battle Fury, Blink. You can consider Ags because it's really good against DK, but I don't know what the other 3 heroes are. Yeah, I mean Basher, MKB would be in there. Probably Satanic on top of that. Thank you for the class. My problem with Circle and other small items. I never know when to upgrade them, so I start every game with 1 branches. Yeah, I mean, I think I can understand that, but it's also, I think when you limit yourself because you don't know what to do, that's generally not the best helpful thing long term. So that's just something to consider, I guess. Kind of like I've had people who tell me they don't pick Huskar because they don't know how to armlet toggle. Like they'd like to play Huskar, or like they don't pick any hero that buys armlet because they don't know how to armlet toggle. And I'm kind of like, well, shit. You know, what do you say to that? But okay, go ahead and start our coaching session. Hello.
Oh,
How's it going?
not too bad.
So I
Still stuck
assume
in
you're
Hero.
a mid player then, because I didn't. You didn't have it in your description. Are you a mid player?
Yes, I am.
Okay, because yeah, you said you have Leshrac games. So
I picked up Leshrac watching your video a little while ago,
nice.
and just realizing like I like support a lot. I love playing support, but then I like playing mid too. Play a lot of casual games, and then I'm like, I want to get good at ranked. And I mid DP from back in the day, and I'm like, she drops off sometimes in games, and saw your Leshrac video, and I'm like, I think I need to have more impact in the games, and I wanted to try that.
Sure,
So I've been doing that for like maybe like a month.
Cool. So are you prepared for me to tell you you're not farming enough?
Yes.
Fantastic. That's about 99% of the time what I tell people if they're below about 2K. So let's find out how you're doing it though, because it's not always that simple. Let's figure it out. Did you have any general questions? I mean, I see your comment. You won the lane versus sniper, or you won versus sniper, but you made a lot of mistakes in lane.
Yeah, I would say actually maybe I lost the lane versus sniper, and I could have won it if I just played better. I have a really hard time playing against sniper.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think I'm
tough
getting
matchup.
better though. I'm trying to like, yeah, it's a bad matchup, but I think I'm aware of some of the reasons why, but I'm still not. You know, I'll make a lot of dumb mistakes, and I'm ready to be coached.
Okay, I got you, man. So you said you play about 20 hours a week, right?
Yeah.
And are you said you've been playing a lot of Lesh. Is like, if I looked at your game history, is it almost purely Lesh, or like what's the look? What's the
If
deal?
it's ranked, it's gonna be purely Lash unless it gets banned,
I see.
and then I'd pick up I'd pick up Death Prophet
I see.
second, and then third I'd pick up Queen of Pain.
Okay, so you're like very rigid on the hero pool that you pick from.
Because of watching your videos, like
Okay.
about a month ago. I'm
So
like,
that's
okay, I got
taking
it.
my advice. You've done
Yeah.
that.
Totally, yeah.
How has that gone so far? Like in terms of your like enjoyment of Dota, your success approach to the game. Like how has that happened?
It's been good. I just am stuck in Herald, and like, you know, I have a good game, I have a bad game, a good game, a bad game. Sometimes I know it's my team maybe that's lost me the game, but I know I'm not good enough to bring it over the edge.
Hmm.
So I'm like, can I get good enough to get myself out of Herald, regardless of what team I'm put with? Sometimes I
sure.
can't do anything sure, but
Yeah.
I know I can do more.
Gotcha. Cool, man.
I get boxed out by a sniper, and I think I'm doing the right thing, but yeah, love to know what an expert would say.
I just watch this thing back. How often do you do CS Trainer?
At least 2 times before I queue up for ranked.
Nice. Okay.
And I'm getting better, but I can see them. I can see the misses.
Yeah. So for now, I do think it's your core issue in lane. I think. Do you have a friend that plays mid?
No.
If there's anybody, are you in the dojo as well, or are you? No, it looks like you're not. I'm just gonna send you an invite. If there's anybody in the dojo that would, I think you would heavily benefit from playing somebody 1v1 with no abilities being casted.
Okay.
Let me just invite you. And maybe there's somebody here. You know, I don't know what the best way to help with this is, but my point is that I think your best drill instead of doing CS Trainer might be to do mid lane, where we're allowed to hit each other, but it's mainly to just creep aggro. Like, the whole idea is you're not trying to kill the other guy, you're just trying to out CS him when you're both attacking creeps. I think you would heavily benefit from that, based on what I'm watching so far.
And I think it's probably my problem more games than I want to admit.
CSing?
Yeah. Sometimes it flows and it's great. Like if they're not good, I'm having a great time. I'm loving my life. But if I'm getting somebody who is halfway decent, I do struggle.
It's also, if like you're in a bad matchup, it's gonna show itself way more.
I'm gonna make some dumb mistakes in a little bit. I think it's coming up.
Okay, so interestingly enough, I think it's a big mistake to have maxed out your W, because W means you want to interact with them or the tower, while E means you want to push the wave and leave. That's...
And then since I have a sniper matchup, I need to deviate from my guide.
Yes.
Like, I'm just blindly following it right
now.
now.
Yeah, so if I would say, I tell people to blindly follow guides for 5 to 10 games, and then you should no longer be blindly following guides. So there's different questions you can ask yourself, but I think one of the most important questions is, what do these spells mean for my playstyle? What am I doing with these?
Gotcha.
So on Lesh, the simple answer is, like, you took the Chronic Nourishment facet, so that allows you to kill their tower. So it means you want to run at them at runes, like you did, or you want to run at the tower, like that's what you're generally doing. And if I ask you, and then like if you think about Lightning Storm, it's like long range creeps and wave clear, right? That's what it does. So which one would you rather do against Sniper?
Yeah, I want my E, right?
Yeah. So it's like, if you want to take that second point in Edict to go for the kill like you did, because like that's fine, because at like level 3 you're not jungling yet. But then at level 6 your jungling time or also your potentially aggressive time, the question you're asking yourself is, am I being aggressive or am I pushing the lane and jungling? Or am I not even pushing the lane? I'm just going to jungle and scoop up the wave under tower. That's like the 2 iterations of that. So there's kind of like a fork in the road. Am I being aggressive? So like I'll ask, there's like this fork. It's like aggressive or farm oriented. That's like the question.
Okay.
And then when farm oriented, am I pushing wave and jungling? Or am I jungling and scooping wave up? Do you know what I mean by this? When I say those words?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I from watching your videos too. Like I'd run to those 2 camps that are close to the mid lane there.
Yeah,
right?
you'd run to these 2 up
And
here,
be
right?
able to farm them.
Yeah.
And I do try to do that at games, but I know I'm not doing it at the right time, so I know my timing's a little bit off. But you're right. If I had my E maxed, it'd be better.
The whole idea is that if you're blindly following a guide and you're not answering these questions, you're not going to get better at decision making. So
Yeah.
what a lot of people don't realize is I think why you struggle to know when to go jungle is because you're not asking yourself about the skills. So you're not planning until you get to level 6. Do you see what I mean? Because the way I'm thinking about your
100% true.
Yeah, you're going to be planning for level 6 when you're skilling at level 5. So
Gotcha.
it just really clarifies trajectory of the game. There's only so much you can see ahead of time, but a lot of stuff like this, of like what you're going to do at level 6, is usually foreseeable with like, you know, variants of what happens in the lane, you know? Sometimes that changes, of course. But I encourage people...
No,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh no, just that makes a lot of sense. And I didn't even think of this. I was thinking of itemization, all other stuff. Like I've been trying to do better at that, but yeah, just basic skills. I should be. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Thanks.
Skills are definitely easier to conceptualize than items. So if you guys are, for anyone listening, if you're skipping, like if you're thinking about items before skills, reverse it. It's much more difficult. Because if you're practicing a hero, then skills are just the same every game. And it's just a matter of which one you take. You don't have 100 choices, you have 4. And before level 6, you have 3. You know? Sometimes, like in this case, 2.
Yeah.
Like Leshrac doesn't really level stun. So you have 2 choices, and if you're not thinking about those 2 choices and you're then deciding about items, there's like 100 of those. It's just much, yeah, so it's really important to go in the right order in terms of complexity to help with your decision making.
Gotcha.
Cool, man. Any questions about that?
No, but I'd love to maybe confirm something I'm doing already.
Sure.
Like I'm pretty sure this is right. So like based even on your videos, right? I'm thinking about who my mid is. I'm trying to queue up items in my quick buy.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So bottle, and then against sniper, I'm like, well, I'm just not going to be close enough to him when he pops his spells for magic wand. So I didn't bother with magic wand this game. So I'm assuming I am doing at least that right. So I'm going to keep doing that, or was that maybe a misplay?
No. I think what you're doing of bottle straight into mana boots is pretty reasonable. Yeah, I'd say that. I do think you would want to buy a quelling just in case because of this guy, but I don't know how often people TP on you.
I probably should have, because at this point in the game I didn't know that he sucked, and I didn't have to worry about him. But so many times I have been caught by natures, and I should. Why not have a quelling, right?
Yeah, I mean that's just a very niche hero in the game of Dota 2, but it is what it is. So in terms of your items, I see your approach, and it definitely makes sense. So here's what I'm going to tell you. I can always tell this like within the first 5 to 10 minutes of Dota, of a coaching session, that you think a lot about the game, which is great. You're asking yourself questions. Like sometimes I have to teach people to ask themselves questions. So for you, the strength you have is that you're clearly thinking things through. I'm going to tell you what I think the simplest things you're not choosing that I think will have the most immediate impact on your gameplay. And I think that if you were to conceptualize your W versus E on Leshrac, that will give you such a smoother transition from like level 6 to level 10 every game. Like it just will. And the dividends of how much you already know compared to asking yourself that question, it's like you're gonna know the answer a lot of the time. And when you get the answer wrong, you'll learn a lot because you, at least in this case, understand the difference between the two. So it's like the same with Death Prophet. It's like, am I maxing Crypt Swarm or am I maxing Spirit Siphon. It's like, if I want to pressure their tower, I want a 3rd point in Spirit Siphon with level 6. If I want to just push out the wave and go somewhere else or something, then I'm going to max out my Q, right? It's the same idea.
I've been on autopilot with that for all my heroes now. I'm realizing. So thanks.
Yeah. I think that question will go a really long way. I think the most important thing for every Dota player is that we have a new question at any given moment that we're adding to our repertoire that we just repeat. That question will give us 1% growth over the course of every Dota game that we play because we asked ourselves the question. And then eventually that question just becomes second nature and you can move on to the next question. That's like,
Gotcha.
That's the way I think Dota's best learned, right? So since this is like
that
Go
makes
ahead.
sense for me.
Yeah,
It makes a lot of sense for me. I think of some other games that I play and I'm much better at, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of how I play in those games. So
that makes sense.
why am I not doing it here? That's just because it's light, it's because it's right up there and there's all the stress and everything.
Well, there's
That's
also
good.
like a bajillion things on your screen. There's like a ton of shit going on in a Dota game. So I think people kind of get lost in the sauce of just like how much shit's on their screen.
Well, that just happened to me. I knew Sniper was at level 6, and I didn't respect his. And I just didn't think about. I was too worried about DS and everything, and not worried about the ult.
Okay. Simple questions. How much do I want to interact with the enemy mid? For usually after level 6 is when this question matters. So this is a sliding scale 1 to 10. 10 being I'm gonna edit that message. 10 being like anytime this guy shows up, he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
1 being this guy solo kills me if I show. Where would you put this
my
matchup?
gut in this. Yeah. My gut right now would be like a 3 or 4.
Yeah, I would say a 3. I would put it like 2.5 or 3. I think you're on the right track though. So now my question for you is, what do we do with that information? Does anything come to mind for you?
I should probably be hitting those jungle camps.
Okay. So the number...
I should try to push that wave out and then get some extra more farm.
Perfect.
To
Perfect.
balance the matchup.
This question tells you how long you are allowed to be on the creep wave. That's what it answers to you. So what you won't do when you answer 3 is not push ulti and kill these creeps right now. Like, you ulti lightning storm these creeps with maxed out E and you're fucking out of here. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So what happens is Sniper walks back to lane right now and you're already gone. And the creep wave's already gone. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I lower my risk and my interaction with
Yes. So the way you minimize interaction is by how long you stand on top of the creep wave. Generally speaking, the higher the number, the more spells you cast, or the less spells you cast on creeps.
Okay. I see what you mean.
Because if I'm really strong and that guy just dies to me solo, I don't want to cast any spells on the creeps. I'll just auto attack them forward and then cast the spells on him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, basically like come get me, come deal with me. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'll just stand on the hill. That's really relevant to like QoP. You know? Like, am I using my
by the
stream?
way, like, QoP is probably my favorite mid. I'm not good enough right now. I recognize I'm not good enough, so I'm gonna put QoP on the back burner for.
Yeah, the problem with QoP is that this thing I'm discussing with you right now is even more important on her because she has very polarizing matchups. Ones where she dominates and ones where she needs to just like max scream and go jungle. And she's not a great jungler. You know? So if you're...
go
ahead.
Yeah. Oh, and just like what I love about your video about Leshrac, like I never thought of playing Leshrac before that video, and now I've been playing him all the time. It's because I feel like I can do more in a team fight with players that are not coordinated. Where with Queen, I feel like I need to have a team. Oh, it was bad.
Yeah, all of this stems from we should not even touch the sniper, right? And we could have known this like minute 0. And hopefully in the future, every game you play Leshrac, you'll just start accruing knowledge of matchups.
Yeah,
And
and this is, I'm gonna tell myself I should know better here 100% because I unfortunately play against sniper mid all the time. Like I try in the pick to make sure I don't pick too early. I get the supports to pick first if possible, so that they're not purposely snipering me, right?
yeah.
But it happens all the freaking time, and I've been trying to tweak and turn the dials up and down. But yeah, I know where to put the dial now. It's also frustrating because each sniper at Herald, I'll tell you right now, they play so differently. Sometimes they suck, and then I'm getting bad habits because of that. But I just need
think
to,
what a lot
why
of
not play for my out?
what a lot of you guys don't understand is that the lower MMR you go, this is just kind of like an inverse scale. The more the game is about just creating the exact same scenario over and over again for your hero. Unless there's 2 scenarios. You are able to shove the lane in and kill their tower for free, and then you go jungle. Or you can, there's 3 scenarios. You can shove in the lane and kill their tower for free. 2, you can't really kill their tower because they have a tower defender, but you like win the lane. So you can just shove the lane in and then go jungle. Or 3, you can't do either of those things, so you jungle and then you scoop up the lane in their tower. That's the only 3 versions of this that should ever exist. So, like, it's nice when you see these opportunities to kill the sniper, but you would have higher MMR if you never interacted with him a single time. Across every game you ever played. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you're 100% right, yeah.
Because that's how Leshrac prefers to play this matchup. So, the only difference about this is the exception is ganks, right? It's like if you have like a guy come mid and gank the sniper, but that's also incredibly unlikely to happen in your games.
Very
right?
unlikely.
So that's why it's like we just want to be really fucking good at. We want to just be machines. That's how you get out of these. Out of Herald. You don't get out of Herald by critically assessing like power spikes and matchups and stuff. You just have a general idea of 3 game plans from mid specifically. Do I push the lane in and pressure the tower? Do I push the lane in and farm? Or do I farm and scoop up the wave? That's the only 3 we got. That applies to every single hero in the game. The only exception is to potentially gank. And I think the rule of thumb for you guys is if you get a rune. I get like a double damage, or a haste rune, or some invis or some shit, maybe I gank. That's like the only real exception there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes more sense. And then, like if we go back to that first kill, we don't need to go back in the timeline, but like he put himself in a bad situation, and I'm Leshrac. So if you're alone with me,
Yeah,
early
he just
on,
walked
with
up to a
your
rune and
abilities,
died to
you're
you.
dead.
Right, yeah,
dead.
like that's a
So, like-
difference because you're just going for a rune.
I'll be a bully around those rune spots. Still,
Yes.
in my head, like that's what I've been trying to do. I want to be a bully around those rune spots early on because of my hero's advantages. But I'm not going to be going near their tower like.
Okay,
I
real
have been.
quick. Let's go off of what you said. You clearly are playing for runes. You talked about like you've been doing that before you even told me you've been doing that. I'm gonna rewind a sec.
I do it and I love it. This game I was sad with my rune performance. I was like, oh crap, I played like way below what I normally do for runes. But I think that's a good example of maybe like what went wrong this game. You know, what did I not do? Because the sniper was a little bit better.
Well, no, I want to emphasize this to you. Your objectives are farm, runes, and waves, right?
Farms, runes, waves.
Right? That makes sense. That's pretty much every
Yeah.
game. So,
Mhm.
if this sniper gets in the way of your objectives, in a way where I want you to think like this. Your job is to push creep waves, get runes, and jungle camps. The only decision is, are you pushing the creep wave from underneath your tower, or are you pushing it aggressively? That's really the only decision, right? So then, what happens is, while you're doing that, if he gets in the middle of it, then you kill him. If he doesn't get in the middle of it, you just literally don't interact with him because it's not a favorable matchup to you. You could probably approach most matchups this way, unless you're just like level 7 and they're level 5. So
like what you say makes more sense. I've been playing him very like aggressively, but especially when I'm not playing against sniper, like just push, like trying to like push in way more. and then like, you know, make their lives hard. But what I can get more farm, like the same amount of farm probably.
The reason I think about this is in this case, so the right solution here is you tried to walk up to the wave and push it. What happened?
I died.
So what did you learn? That in this matchup, you need to let him push it into you. So what happens in
Yeah.
this? You go get the rune first, and then you go get the wave after. In matchups where
yeah.
you walk at
Look
the
at that.
lane and he walks at the lane and you push it, it's like an ember or something, then you would go push the wave first and then get the rune. Do you see that?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Rune first or wave first? Question. Answer. If both of us walk at the wave and push it, what happens? Right?
Yeah, with sniper, he's gonna have an advantage on me.
He's going to shrapnel you and
So-
hit you from outside of range of your spells, and it's going to suck. Right?
Yeah.
So, in this case, what you learned here is you're not supposed to interact with Sniper because he's... Right now, you're gone. He's gone, and you didn't kill the wave while he was gone. And in this case, instead of interacting with him at this wave, you're supposed to go get the rune first, and then come back and pick it up. Also, you could potentially push the wave by maxing, like, if you had pushed max Lightning Storm here, you could probably, like, auto-attack the wave from back here. And then Lightning Storm it, right?
Super safe, yeah.
Yeah, so from, like, a safe distance, and that's kind of like, is he here? No? Okay, great, I can, like, kill the wave. You know what I mean? But you don't want to, like, walk down here, because you figured out what happens when you walk down here. Like, this is a great question on Leshrac is, what happens when I walk down here? Does the enemy guy fuck with me, or can I just do this? You have to ask yourself this question.
Yeah.
It varies widely, right?
If I go back into my headspace when I played this, what I realized what I'm doing now, I'm trying to catch myself is, why am I always just trying to push with my ult? Like, I could just, you're right. I could use my E instead. I could
Well,
do it from safety.
you're always trying to push with your ult because you're maxing this every game.
That's why. Yeah, you're right. Oh,
I mean, you're not thinking critically about the role of both of these spells, so you're not thinking about how this spell applies to you, so you're not going to use it that way. That's why. Like, to answer your question, that's why you're doing it. Right? Because...
And look, I die with 2 bottle charges too. Like,
Yeah,
that's so dumb.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, the reason why I don't mind this kill on him here, right? There's a wave, and you're just going to walk at him at it. It's like, oh, I'm going to go back and farm this wave, and he's on my hill. Okay, he's dead. You know what I mean? It's like, he's in the way of your farm, so kill him.
And I looked at that there. I think he cast shrapnel already, maybe. So I'm like, you know what? He's dead, or he has to run away, and then I'll take the wave. I wasn't gonna chase him in my head there, but I think he just made a critical mistake there. He was
Yeah, I understand.
not aware.
That's for sure.
I think he doesn't know how to play like against Leshrac. I think.
Yeah,
is
most people
what
probably don't understand the hero that well, yeah.
So I was taking advantage of that, but yeah, makes sense. So can we go back 1 second? I'd love to know your opinion here. So like, I am trying when I feel like I'm ineffective in my lane to go help out other lanes, right? I'm on my mic. I'm the only guy in Herald pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to, not make demands. You had a video on that. I really like
Yeah.
that. That's really smart. But like here, example, I'm trying to go up to the top lane, right? To go do something because I'm like, oh man, well, kind of sucking in mid. And then I go there and I kind of can't do anything. Should I have done anything different there? I walked back to the lane and got a kill. So retro,
Okay.
50. Yeah, hindsight looks
Okay.
good.
Here's the problem with 99% of you Herald players. Okay?
But,
I totally hear you. That's like a lot of in-depth thinking. Like, it's good in theory. It's great. But you are drowning yourself in this in-depth thinking. I'm going to give you a quick fix to this problem. Motto, never leave a creep wave behind. What time
Okay.
does the creep wave get right here? Do you know?
No, I should. It's really embarrassing.
It's 15 seconds on the minute and 45 seconds on the minute.
Okay.
I don't care what you do in this fucking game. You don't walk away from the creep wave at 9:40.
So that was a mistake. Yeah, of course that was a mistake.
This-
Perfect. I'm glad I got that in.
This never happens.
Yeah.
Like 100% of games. The only exception is when you are losing your lane so fucking bad that you are at a 1, and if you show on that wave for a second, you die to that guy. That is
Yeah.
the only exception. And he's also dead here. So it's even worse when you think about it,
That's pretty bad.
right?
That's pretty
So
bad.
then I want to fast forward real quick and answer your question. so he's gonna kill your tower. I want to show you in a second here. Watch this.
Yeah.
You just
leave it
walked
at
away
that.
from it. This is how you fix your
That's why I'm at
problems. You just
20K.
never do that ever again. That's like 500 MMR, I swear to you. At least. If you just never
Yeah.
walk away from a creep wave again.
Yeah, there's like I've been asking myself, why the hell am I in Herald? And these are the answers.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is you're going to get these fundamental building blocks where you don't just have 25 less CS than you should have at 12 minutes. And it doesn't because you have perfect CSing mechanics. It's because you don't sit there waiting against the sniper with 2 points in Lightning Storm. You actually push out the wave and leave, right? And that one example. And what happened during that is you spent an extra 20 seconds or so on the wave. So that's actually like 2 jungle camps that you didn't kill. That's what that represents, because it's like 20 seconds of your time. And then in this case, and the other case, that's another 8 CS that you've missed here. So at the very least, you've missed 16 CS for no other reason than not thinking critically about where the wave is and making sure you farm it and making sure your sense of urgency is based on the matchup. And this is something that you're not going to go in tomorrow and be like, this matchup's a 2, this one's a 4, this one's a 7. You're not going to know like every answer, but you're going to get a good idea and you're going to gauge it based on how I interact with this guy and did it work or not. Like you'll have this feeling of I interacted with the guy too much or not enough. You know, you'll have like a feeling about it and you can like tweak the numbers. But what's going to happen is once you get that, you just have an extra 25 CS at minute 12. And then all of these decisions you're talking about will then become decisions. Basically. Like what a lot of you guys are doing, it's the same across the board, is like I told you at the beginning of the session, are you ready to be told to farm more? It's like these are different reasons about why you're not farming, but what's going to happen is I want you to think that the question also is, for this 1 to 10 question, this also determines who controls mid-wave. So usually there's only one. Very few mid matchups past level 6 are like even. Very few. Like very few of them are 5s. Like they're at least 4s or 6s. So what that means is that somebody controls the wave. Like somebody gets to dictate, hey, I push this in and maybe pressure the tower or get a rune or rotate. And the other guy doesn't, right? That just means one of them doesn't. If you're the guy dictating, you're infinitely more likely to gank, and it's only after... Okay, you will gank when you are like an 8 through 10 and like a 1. That's when you'll gank. Does that make sense?
So yeah, my instincts are off completely for that. I need to reset. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm looking to gank.
absolutely.
I'm actually looking to own the mid lane.
You should be like, I want you to think this is your territory. I just need to know who controls it and how I interact with that. And you'll just have an extra 25 CS. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get used to pushing the wave every time, not leaving any creep waves behind. And that all gets fixed by knowing that it's 15 seconds and 45 on the minute. Like that all gets fixed by that. Because then every time you're looking to gank or whatever, you'll look here first. Right? And then you'll be like, oh, there's a wave coming in 5 seconds. I should clear that first. And the whole idea is the faster your hero clears the wave, you have that much of 30 seconds to go do something. Whether that's jungling or ganking or runes or whatever. But like that whole thing at like 7:10, if you clear that wave in 3 seconds with max lightning storm and ult, you now have until 7:45 to do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? Like you can do anything. And I want you to think about mid lane that way.
And try to do something if I had to, you know.
Yeah.
Okay,
And-
gotcha.
Yeah, so like I want you to think that you're effectively operating on like a 30-second timer all the time, and as fast as you can clear the wave is how likely you are to go do something. Because if you take 10 seconds to kill it, that means you have 20 seconds instead of 25 or 28. Like it's percentage-wise, it's a much lower number, you know.
It's huge, yeah. That'll really help me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So what's going to happen here is your ganks are going to feel more natural now. Ganks are a result of understanding how good your farming in your area is. Because you have like a flat constant that then you can compare to the fluctuating variable of ganking. You know, like there's a lot of stuff that goes into ganking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you understand your constant, that is the 1v1 that you're playing in the mid lane, then you will be able to decide much better how likely ganking is to be better. Because you have like one of the two sides of the scale pretty accurately measured, and now you're just trying to figure out where is this one on the scale rather than which one is higher. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then in the games that I have a good game, and let's say I got their tower really quick with with the dumb facet that helps you
Yeah,
get towers.
absolutely.
Then I know, like based on like the videos I watched of you and other people, I know that opens up their jungle. I can do way more things, right? I can still get
Absolutely.
the wave and be aggressive, but I have if I in the scenarios like this where I don't have that, these are the games I struggle at the most. Even though like I won this game, I think I even got MVP, but it's like Herald, who cares? It's not important. It's not like impressive. But for me, I was like, dang, this game did not feel good. It felt bad. Whole game
Yeah.
felt bad.
Yeah, I think that if you
So
got in the
and this
habit,
maybe answers why.
I honestly think if for the next 50 games, like, let's not even make decisions. If for the next 50 games, I wouldn't even worry about this tower for now, if I'm you. Okay? Like,
Okay.
the tower's nice, but, like, for, like, 25 to 50 games, I want you to ask yourself, am I pushing the wave and jungling, or am I scooping up the wave and jungling? Those are the only two iterations of Dota I want you to play right now.
Push or scoop.
And if you accurately identify that, that's based on how much you want to interact with the guy and who controls mid. That kind of adds up there. So there's actually like a lot that goes into that. That's why I'm thinking it's not just like a 5-game thing, you know? It'll
Oh yeah,
vary
no,
from... Yeah?
it'll take a while.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is I just want to see you have 80 CS at 12 minutes with Leshrac because you maxed out Lightning Storm and you... Or like, if you're controlling the wave, then you can max out your W. If you're not controlling the wave, you'll want to max out Lightning Storm. Because your
Yeah.
ulti is more efficient mana use. So, like, this is 240 for... so you're getting about, like, 1.7 to 1 damage to mana here. 140 mana for 240 damage. And for this one, you're getting 25 mana for 80 damage. So, obviously, the activator is about 1.7 as well, the 50 mana for 80. But then every second after that is 3x, right? So if we're thinking about clearing the wave, you would rather use Pulse Nova than Lightning Storm. So
So to do my homework there, the reason why I'm using the Lightning Storm is because I'm trying to push it fast.
faster,
Like
yeah.
it's like I'm using mana up at loss of efficiency because I need to get my ass out of there and do something useful, like hit the next hit some neutral camps.
Yeah, the cost
or
is
snipers there.
mana compared to time and resource, like health and time compared to mana.
Mhm.
That's the resource weighing you're making there.
When you're playing like Shrek or whatever, how often do you go and think about the bounty rune as a way to fill your bottle up? I'm wondering if I'm maybe thinking about that too much or
No,
attempting that
Leshrac's
for
nice
too much.
because he's really fast. He has high move speed, so it's nice to just walk at bounties.
Especially if I farm my way there, right? With those two camps.
Yeah, a lot of it would be farming your way there, yeah.
Okay.
I think you're more likely on Lesh if you're winning the lane to go pick up this one. If you're losing or not losing, but like if you're controlling mid to go pick up this one. If you're not controlling mid, you're more likely to go pick up this one. Because
Good.
when you're not
I wanted
controlling
to kinda
mid, you're back
double-check
here.
that.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In my head, like if I'm losing but I haven't been, if I'm not dead, I ask myself a question. I'm trying to ask that question. Do I farm with like let's say I have low health or whatever? Anyways, we can watch the game. This
I'm
is
listening
probably
to you.
more useful.
I'm listening. I just do this naturally because I can collect more info.
My decision in my head is like, do I try to get something out of the little bit of mana and health I have left, and then maybe get a bounty and like fill up? So I'm not in lane because I got pushed out. I'm gonna go get that bounty rune and get some farm on the way, or I'm gonna run back to fill up at the fountain and TP in to be at full power. Like fun thing about Lashrak, he has like no cooldowns basically. So
Yeah, he's all about resources. Yeah, no cooldowns.
in my head, I've been going to Fountain more often than I normally would because of Lashrak. I'm like, well, he just fills up so nicely, and I'm like, if I've been beat, I better just like take my licks and get to Fountain, come back to lane.
Yeah,
Unless
see.
I think there's a bounty there, and I know I can like use the bounty to regen. I assume this is okay, what I'm doing here, where I'm like using the bounty to eat that camp.
Yeah,
Two
I would
bounties.
just like to note that you have not cleared these two camps together a single time this game, I believe.
Yeah, you're right.
That should virtually be almost every minute from minute 6, 7 onwards.
And is that when I'm hitting my ult?
Yeah,
away,
it's
like,
because
level
like
6
when you're
pretty
getting
much?
your ult, you just kill both these camps at the same time.
And then, quick question for the future: like, when would you hit the ancient camp and the camp next to the
I mean,
ancient in our
generally
triangle?
speaking, if you
Level
will
2
get a
ult?
sense that you're able to clear waves and clear these camps, and you've got more time to do something else. And a lot of times, it can be like going to pick up a bounty and going for this camp, or like I'd say like bounty plus this camp is more likely than over here. Leshrak's
yeah.
not like horrible at ancients, but that also means you have to go base because you're going to take a lot of damage to them. So I would
Especially with
say if
level
you have
1.
like 400 mana and you want to go base, then you can like do ancients. Do you know what I mean?
That I'll remember that 400 mana. That would be in my head a little bit.
Yeah, I would use Diabolic Edict plus ult on ancients. That's how I would clear them. Assuming it's not a stack. If it's a stack, I wouldn't use this. But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like you're trying to be really active in the game. Usually what Leshrak does is play purely for efficiency until Blink. And even though you went the facet that doesn't really kill people with Blink, I still think it's good. The benefit of this facet, mainly, is that when you're auto-attacking neutrals, you will get health back. Or, sorry, mana back. So, you're not really utilizing the facet, to be honest. Like, yes, it's nice for killing towers, but a lot of it's like you accelerate your farm a lot by virtue of just hitting creeps while you're farming. Because you're just getting like 12 mana, 12 mana, 12 mana, 12 mana.
I have found that. I see I'm not doing it this game, but I have enjoyed that on this facet for sure.
Yeah, the thing about what's really interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The facet discussion too. I'm just my thoughts. Since you're coaching me, every game I decide if I go 1 or 2 basically. Like I'm always thinking about it, and I do it based on the draft. Like here I looked and I'm like, I don't trust any of these players to necessarily be pushing towers or pushing racks when we get a racks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need that tool in my tool belt. Because normally, if I was against Sniper, I would probably want the other one, just in case he did run into me. I just kill him faster. Or if when I had Blink, then I could maybe really take him down. But I was like, 60-40 here for this facet.
I see.
I'm playing them about 50-50.
Okay. It's good to know.
But it's good for me to remember, though. I should be maybe jungling a little bit more if I have facet 1.
I think that this playstyle is going to virtually be the same, but you will make use of the jungle better when you have facet, when you have this one, for sure.
Look at us look for a guy that's not there. So dumb. So here I'm yelling at my teammate, please, let's not fight under tier 2 tower.
I think you will heavily benefit from showing me how many creeps you can clear and not saying a word to your team unless you yourself are doing something. I think it's really different for you to say, I'm just... Okay, I think an amazing exercise for people that are such as yourself is meaning that you're worrying about a lot of variables that I think are too much. Like, there's... Basically... You're thinking a lot, which is great, but to some extent, we really have to tone it down how much you're thinking a lot about. So there's a big difference between telling your team, don't do that, compared to, I'm going to go farm. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'm going rune. I'm going midwave. I'm TPing top. I'm coming top. Like, I think if you were to change all of your communication to what you're doing, it would significantly benefit you for, like, the next 4,000 worth of MMR. Just communicate what
Okay.
you're doing and what you would like to do.
So to put that in practice, if we go back here,
Yeah?
we like I thought I was hunting somebody. Hopefully, I was like 50% chance I'm gonna get somebody here, in the bot today.
Yeah, I'm
we
gonna
had a
fast
fight.
forward, sorry.
We won it. No worries.
Like, right.
And then I see we naturally are getting towards that tier 2 tower. In my head, I'm like, danger. I don't want to fight underneath that. I don't want them to fight underneath it. So if I would put that into practice now, I should probably both just leave instead of farming this camp.
Yeah,
which
you
makes
should
them
have
think I'm
farmed
gonna
these two
be
camps
in
right here. Yeah.
Yeah, even me positionally being back there would have maybe been better than me even saying, "Let's not fight under tier 2 tower." I'm going near tier 2 tower. I should probably just not be near it, right?
You should not give a rat's fucking ass about anything your teammates are doing. You should just communicate
Okay.
what you want to do. I guarantee you it will work
Gotcha.
better. You
I
are
will
going
try
to be
that.
worrying about such a highly varying thing. If you think about, you literally told me how sniper
Yeah.
mids play. Like, you're like, I don't even know what I'm going to get. That's the exact same thing. Like, the lower MMR you guys are, the less predictable your teammates will be. Just period. It's like, it's a direct, inversely proportional. Higher, the more predictable you are. Because people are going to play more fundamentally sound the higher you go. That's just what's going to happen. So if you create your own fundamentals and obliged by them, and just tell your teammates what you're going to do, I guarantee you, like, you're going to be making a lot of mistakes because you're worried about your teammates doing this, so you farm near them because you don't want them to feed without you or something. If you're changing your farming pattern because of your teammates, that's really bad for you. Because you're trying to change according to something that changes so drastically every game, and it's not like what they're doing is consistently correct or anything, so you don't have any, like, compass. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The more I realize why I'm there in the map right now is because I'm thinking they're gonna fight, and I need to be there to clean it up. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like that's not what I want to do. I know I've watched enough videos that I shouldn't be doing that. So
Yeah, man.
I should have farmed those bottom camps.
You know, the
And then I
funny
should have
thing
got
is, nothing
else.
what you said to me in the last, like, 3 minutes prior to that told me you wanted to be here. Right? But then that's
Yeah.
what you're doing in the game. So if we can get that disconnect and link it together, I think a great question for you is, am I doing this because my hero wants to, or because of something my teammates are doing? That applies to literally any decision you make in the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask yourself those type of questions, I guarantee most of the times that you don't really like what you're doing, it's because you're doing something you think your teammates want you to do, or something they're doing with their heroes that you're worried about. Stuff like this.
Yeah.
Did you watch my recent video that says, like, be patient or whatever in the title? It's like from like 4 days ago.
Like slow down. Yeah, I did, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was a coaching session with Spirit Breaker.
No,
Right.
so that was it was a pub game of me playing Drow where I analyzed it.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, yes, you're right. I watched a little bit of that this morning.
That's a game I think you would heavily benefit from, because I talk about all the reasons I don't want to do anything, and how I basically said I think the majority of players, what we're missing is that we feel like we have to do something so often. And it's really hard, actually, to tell ourselves, I just don't want to be doing this. And in that particular game, it was especially hard because one of my teammates was bitching at me, like, really obnoxiously. And then he was like, he's like, oh, you don't want to fight? I'm going to go farm safe. Fuck you. When he, like, it's like, so it's like that never ends. There's no, like, I want to escape the trench so my teammates don't flame me. Like, that never ends. You know what I mean? So it's not about escaping the trench. It's more, I need to be confident in what I'm doing with my hero and not obliged by what my teammates are doing if I don't think it's correct. It's not like an ego issue or a pride issue. It's literally like, I believe in what I think to do in this game, and I need to follow it. Otherwise, you're making somebody else's mistake. And then you're not learning from it because it's not your mistake.
And then I'll complain about it after. And
yeah, most of us then
it's
complain
bad,
about
right?
it afterwards, of course, yeah. That's
My
obligatory.
team-
What am I supposed to do when my team
Is it-
feeds a tier 2 every
Yeah.
game? Yeah, like
Not be there.
not be do what? Well, what was correct for your hero? What did you want to be doing there? That's what I would ask you.
Farm
That
neutral
question.
camps.
Yeah,
with
farm more
my
neutral
crazy
camps.
ult.
For me, I would have farmed these 2 camps, probably TP'd here because I have a ward, cleared these 3, picked up the rune up here, and that's what I would have done here.
Great. That was the question I was going to ask. Where would you go next? That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for me, it's all just mapping out how many neutrals I can hit. So yeah, man, we
So
are
had
at
a fight here
go ahead.
that I. Yeah, go ahead. Anyways, it's fine. Thanks.
I was going to
thanks,
say
man.
that
It's
we
been really
are
good.
about ready to wrap up because we're about 45 minutes in. I know we only got 20 minutes into the game. I do believe that
No worries.
for everybody, I think the most important thing is to clean up the first 20 minutes because we experience the first 20 minutes every game. You know, maybe at Herald you'll get the 60-minute mark more than I would, but the whole idea is that not only do we experience the first 20 minutes every game, but also there's way less variance in the first 20 minutes than there is in the the later you go, the infinitely more variance there are.
Oh, it's all good.
So
Play a lot of not ranked with much better players.
Yeah.
So like the Herald games are actually like they're new. They feel new to me. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? I know I'm the worst man in my 5-man team or my 4-man when we queue up, right? I'm the worst guy usually.
Yeah.
But holy crap! I'm like, it's like relearning Dota.
What a lot of people
But these.
Go ahead.
But yeah, these first 20 minutes, that's exactly what I'm happy to focus on. So just thanks, appreciate it.
Awesome, man. I just want to let you know that I actually think it's not that you should stop playing with your friends. It's that playing with your friends exacerbates this problem because a lot of times players like yourself will do better in those games, even though they're higher MMR averages than you'll do in your game, because you're lacking the skill of creating your own game regardless of what happens. But you're able to play at a
Exactly,
higher level
exactly, yeah.
because you generally understand what you're supposed to do in the game, like objectively. So what's happening is your understanding of what's better in the game is there, but your understanding of how to make your hero play the game optimally is not there. And that's why you're stuck in your MMR. So knowing that these skills you have developed from your friends will pay massive dividends later, and it's great. But it's actually, it all comes down to how can I play my hero the way I want to play it as 100% close to as possible. You know, like, I think that's the correct play. That's what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. So I think you have a lot of positives. Like, I mean, like, the thing is that playing with your friends will give you a lot of knowledge in the game, which is going to be fantastic. And at the same time, it's kind of demoralizing because none of that shit's going to help you win these games.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the catch-22 of that situation is like, great, but that doesn't help. So yes, you know, we gave you some things to work on. I think the most important part about this is that you simplify things and then expand it one little thing at a time. So ultra simplify, just, you know, are you going to push the wave or are you going to scoop it? And then later, once you feel like that's second nature, you know, then you can consider pressuring tower, you can consider ganking, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, you'll kind of know for yourself, that feels like second nature. I can just look at the matchup, decide minute 0, and I just know. You know? And once you go there, like, you'll kind of know deep down, like, okay, I can move on to the next thing. I think you'll have a good sense of when that is. So.
Awesome, man.
Awesome. Sweet, man. Thanks for signing up. I hope the Leshrac journey continues swiftly because I love this hero. So.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah. Have a good one, man.
Take care. Bye.
Okay. Morning, you handsome creature. Sub lime Q, lime T Q, cat Q, or Q lime. I don't know how to say that. It's Legolas. Thanks for the Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. Legolas, real Legolas. But yeah, guys, so let me just look at my schedule for tomorrow to alert you guys a little bit. Oh, fun little announcement. tomorrow on stream, I will be coaching Jenkins. That will be happening at 4 p.m. CET. So 5 hours earlier than now. Don't miss the coaching of Jenkins tomorrow. So that's happening 5 hours earlier than now. For whatever time zone you guys are in. Gonna be looking to do a little bit of collabing with Jenkins, potentially Kezu as well. And then Wednesday I have another coaching session, and then I'll be gone Thursday. So we'll be doing maybe 3 to 4 hours of streaming more this week. Will that be on YouTube? Yeah, almost certainly it'll be a YouTube video as well. Will be Jenkins be playing Pudge? Probably. Probably. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for me today. So thank you so much for watching. That's what streams are going to be now, is a lot of coaching, a lot of classes. Coaching Jenkins, whatever that actually fucking means. And hope to see you guys there. I'm excited about it. I think I said thank you, Xerof Gaming, but I'm also very tired right now. So thank you for subbing. Have a great rest of your guys' Monday. And I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully at the Jenkins coaching session. Peace.